Well, thank you so much for coming out on a Saturday. We know there is the global march, we know there's the national march in London, but we will continue in our local communities and we will still show up for Palestine week in, week out, and we will not stop until Palestine is liberated. Yemen was already bleeding before the UK and USA decided to launch strikes on Houthi-governed areas. Rishi Sunak said the strikes were in self-defense, saying that Houthi repelling ships was a threat to shopping, a threat to cargo. 300 ships are more valuable to this government than the lives of 30,000 Palestinians. I cannot comprehend it. Meanwhile, Yemeni children die every day from starvation. What Rishi Sunak won't admit is that the Houthis are reacting to a genocide in real time. More than any empty words spoken by Western leaders, they have been able to directly impose a form of sanctions on the Israeli government, and they have done this without killing a single soul. Just think about what that means for a second. They are standing and they are actively frustrating Israel without harming any living soul, and our government cannot bear that. Instead of recognizing the root cause of any violence as the brutalization of Palestinians in Gaza, the West Bank and beyond, Western leaders chose to launch airstrikes at one of the most impoverished and unstable regions in the world. So when people like Biden say that they want to avoid escalation, it's a miracle that there are still people who believe him. After all, actions speak louder than words. When vulnerable populations in Gaza and Yemen pay the price, is any wonder why ordinary people haven't connected the dots between dehumanization of Palestinians and dehumanization of others, which creates space for violent attacks? I don't really know what else there is that I can say that I haven't said already. I have said everything from journalists to hospitals, churches, mosques, children. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how I spent my week and what it meant for me when I got home. I launched a project called Colour Manchester for Palestine, where I've asked local businesses to show solidarity in their shop windows by allowing me and my friend Nicola to paint for Palestine on their windows. We paint things like resistance symbols and the Dome of the Rock and things like that. And I tell you now that not one penny is kept for even the materials. We donate every penny that we get from these jobs that we do, and we have raised over £4,000 for Medical Aid Palestine. Now, it has been heartbreaking for me to come home one night and see that Medical Aid Palestine have had to cease operations on the ground because of the relentless shelling and bombing. They have had to withdraw their people on the ground because it is too dangerous. We then decided to focus our efforts on sponsoring an orphan in Gaza. When I spoke to the charity who told me that we could sponsor an orphan in Gaza, they then told me that it is too difficult and that if we donate to sponsor one orphan today, that orphan is not guaranteed to live the next week. We cannot even guarantee the lives of these children. So now I'm working with my friend to consider whether or not we should sponsor an orphan in Yemen instead. Now, the thing that I wanted to tell you most was, me and Nicola did a job for 18 hours over 2 days at Bun in Cheetah Mill in Manchester this week just gone. It was one of the biggest jobs we'd done. We wrote about the Balfour Declaration. We wrote about the Nakba. We tried to educate people through art. We tried to resist through art. And I went home after that day, my bones aching, honestly. It was 3 degrees, it was freezing cold, and I went home and I said to my family, I'm knackered, I'm tired, my bones are hurting. And then I opened my phone. I hadn't checked it all day. And I saw a video of a 13-year-old boy picking up pieces of human flesh with his bare hands. How dare I go home and complain that I'm tired? How dare I go home and complain that it's cold? I don't really know what more there is for me to say anymore. So free